Okay, a couple videos back I showed a tractor that I bought in Maine, and there was a big guy that I bought it off. His name was Willie 1960. Anyway, he had contacted me, said he had a tractor for sale, and I said that I'd be interested in it if the price was right. So, you know, that's kind of cool. And I thought it was really cool because it has this nice, wonderful wide front end. Yeah, the wide front end. So I figured for the price I paid for it, between the new tires on all four new tires, and the wide front end, I had my money's worth even if it didn't run. Now there's a couple things that aren't right about the tractor. I'll point them out right now. One is these lights, but it's what Willie liked. He wanted those heavy lights on there, you know, I mean they'll blind any oncoming traffic. And, you know, for working at night, they're actually not too bad. But I will not be leaving them on there. I'm looking on eBay for a good set of the original lights because I kind of like an original tractor. Also, what Willie said was, I'll sell you the tractor for that price, but you got to leave the spinner on. Well, okay, so I did that. I'm not going to take that off of there just because Willie said that he wanted it on there. And I decided that was a good idea to leave it on there. The other thing that isn't right is, of course, this alternator, because it's not supposed to have an alternator on there. It's supposed to have a generator. But Willie has, or had, the generator mount, which is this guy right here. So I can very easily go ahead and put the tractor back to its original state. Alright, and I'll tell you what, the weird thing was, is I'm going home and I'm stopping at gas stations and rest stops, and I'm starting to notice some really weird things about this tractor. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of strange. And I talked to a couple people and I'm like, oh, no, that's normal, that's normal. Well, it's not normal, and I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. Right here on the casting, you can see there's a yellow paint. And to be more specific, that yellow paint is actually Caterpillar yellow paint, or Caterpillar industrial yellow paint. And of course I talked to a few people and I'm like, oh yeah, on the castings there was, in that era, there was a yellow paint that was applied to the castings. And I know what they're talking about, but this is not the color paint that the castings were sprayed with. It was kind of like a pale yellow, and it wasn't very thick. It was just this really thin primer paint that if you scratched it would go right through. So anyway, so I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking, you know, that yellow paint is everywhere. If you look underneath here, it's on this, and yet this is a casting. And here you can peel it apart, peel it off of there, and no matter where you scratch it, there's that yellow paint right there and there. So I thought, what the hell is going on here? This is not normal, because it wasn't every piece of yellow. It wasn't every casting that was yellow. And then I started to notice other parts that were yellow, or that color yellow, like right here. That is that yellow. And, oh, look at that. That yellow. So the green paint wears off and I get this yellow paint. And right there. And now we're getting into tin. So my curiosity is getting the best of me. I'm like, all right, what the hell is going on here? Here, under the John Deere green, is that Caterpillar yellow. And the real crazy thing was right here on that John Deere yellow. Now that's on the casting, and that has been there for one hell of a long time, and it has had green paint put over it. But then of course you get up on the nose here, and what's shining through here but more yellow. Now that's not casting. The other thing was, I started scratching here, and you can see yellow under it. So a lot of guys were like, that's just one of those tractors that somebody got it and painted it yellow, which is not true. Because I talked to one fella, and he said, look where nobody would spray paint that thing green or yellow then green, where nobody would paint that color, and that will, you know, give you the that'll give you the answer right there. I'm looking for a flashlight. That'll give you the answer right there as to what it is, whether it was painted originally yellow or painted originally green and then yellow. Okay, here's one thing. The serial plate. Here's the serial number for anybody that might want to do me some research. You can pause that right there. I don't know how to do the research on this thing. Here's another spot right there on the distributor. But the real kicker is when you look up inside. On the inside of that casting, and you can see it, it's yellow. There's no green there. There's just none. It's yellow. And underneath the tank, you can see that there had been yellow up in the front here. So this tractor was, at one time, even the bolts are yellow. Everything. You know, and here's the other thing that'll really kind of shores it up for me anyway, is here's the clutch lever. These things always get worn off. Now this tractor is really solid, and it hasn't been replaced that I know of, and I don't know. I think Willie may have taken that off of there and replaced the bushing, but there's been yellow paint on every square inch of this thing, including the throttle. Throttle's yellow, lever's yellow, up inside here, yellow. Now, I've said yellow about 40 million times, but even the seat is yellow, and you can see that yellow is the base color. It is wearing to yellow, not to green and then to yellow, or green, yellow, then green again. It's just yellow. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I did a little research, and I've seen a couple of these tractors that were painted yellow. And they were 70s and 80s. But they were, let me get to the point here. They were 70s and 80s, model 70s, model 80s, never a 60. So, right here, it did not say John Deere. It only said John Deere up on the front. But on the side, it said Caterpillar. Because at some point in time in this era of tractor, 1953 to be exact, Caterpillar contracted John Deere to build some tractors for them and paint them Caterpillar yellow. All yellow. There was no distinction between it was just yellow. Caterpillar yellow. So, anyways, I thought, well, of all things, if you're going to have a yellow tractor, a John Deere yellow tractor, yellow wheels, you wouldn't paint Caterpillar yellow. Now, you're seeing me do this underneath the John Deere yellow now, would you? Or would you? Look at that. You see it? Can you see it? That's rust, by the way. That is Caterpillar yellow as a base coat on the casting. So I thought, well, okay, that's all right. Let's say we go to the rim. And of course, rims can be changed, right? Or just painted. And I don't know if you can see this as I'm rubbing this down, because it is taking a lot of the yellow off. There you go. See that Caterpillar yellow? So, here I have a John Deere green tractor that was painted originally Caterpillar yellow, but I can't see that there was a Caterpillar sign on it or anything like that. Okay, so that brings me here to this sticker. This is a new sticker. It's the beginning of the old sticker right here. I don't know if you can see it, but that old sticker comes all the way back here somehow. Where in the hell is that? Anyways, maybe it's on the other side. You can see it's more prevalent on the other side. Yeah, the old sticker's here. You can see the line right there, and it comes all the way back to, where the hell is that? Oh, here's a speck. So it's like from here to here is where the old sticker was. So John Deere has always been about that size. Some of them were longer, some of them were, you know, shorter, but this one here is about the right size for this year tractor. Not saying that it is a Caterpillar, but I'm saying the odds of this tractor being one of those cat yellow tractors, or at least a tractor that came out of the factory yellow, is a pretty good chance. So actually what I'm trying to do now is to find someone that knows how to figure this out for me. And as you can see, my serial numbers were there on the earlier in the video. But anyways, if you like this video and you want to help me out, please comment, rate, and subscribe. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this Wierd tractor. We call them Wierd DEEREs, I guess. At least people do. Wierd DEEREs. And you can see yellow everywhere. I mean, look at this. This is right on the casting. And right down to the casting. And the green over top of it. So, anyways, any help would be great. Thank you. Infamous hill. Of course I had to take it up the hill, you know. It's just one of those things I got to do from time to time. Oh yeah, and PB Blaster in the old flathead V8. A little bit at a time, every time. I tried loosening this thing up with air, but it didn't seem to work just yet, but we'll give it a shot. Anyways, thanks for watching.